it is requiring you guys to
Right,
step
so
up and be really great. Yeah. Okay.
how do you and Hermine know each other?
How many years do we go back, Mary? Was it 4 years?
Three.
We were in Leadership Frederick together, and that's how we met. Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then Hermine, we met you around the same time. We met you a couple years ago as well with Maryland Sunrooms. We had donated for one of our Christmas parties. All of our employees had donated, and you had come into the showroom to accept.
Oh.
To accept the donation, and that was really amazing as well. Maryland Sunrooms throws some type of Christmas party and also a summer picnic for our employees, which is really like a dying tradition for a lot of companies. But that is something that we like to do. We like to keep it more of a family environment. So luckily we did know about Blessings in a Backpack. And from my understanding, Mary called. Mary, do you want to tell the story? You called in to talk to Caitlin?
I called in to talk to Caitlin because I knew I had this $500 referral gift from Hermine because she had told me about it before we even called to book our very first appointment. But she was so thrilled with you guys that I knew we were just going to, if the price was right and we got along with the first person who showed up, we were going with Maryland Sunrooms. So I had this $500 referral fee that I hadn't said anything about, and it just dawned on me that, my husband and I are very, very grateful that we are not suffering right now through any of this pandemic. We both have our jobs. We're both essential. We can both work from home, and I know that Hermine and Blessings in a Backpack has been stressed because Hermine is not just opening the food up to the children, but I am sure that some of that food that's going home right now is feeding entire families because of the situation we're in. So I just thought, wouldn't it be great if Maryland Sunrooms would give the $500 referral fee to Blessings in a Backpack? And so I called Caitlin, sorry. She got very excited. And next thing I knew, I heard from you, Julie.
Great. Yes, you sent an email with your request out to Mike Fraley, the owner, and myself. And he said, absolutely. We love Blessings in a Backpack. We want to help. And you can go ahead. And I called Kate immediately after talking to you, Mary, because I told her I wish had given her the honor of telling you because you were so excited.
Oh, I know. She immediately, call me. If she called me, then she called my husband because I didn't have to pick up. Yeah.
I couldn't tell which cell phone was whose.
Anyway, on the phone.
I was over the moon. I was just
great.
like, because Caitlin and I thought it was a good idea, but neither of us had the power to say yes.
Right.
So.
Yeah, Mike wrote back, absolutely fine with me. Julie, if you want to do it, do it. And I'm like, yeah. I can't wait to make the call. So I called Caitlin too right after our call, and I said, okay, Mary was just over the moon. She couldn't be more excited. And I'm just filled with joy that we could do this,
That's Mary's heart. And
yes.
I'm just going to share a story. You can edit this out if you want. But, oh gosh, 5 years ago? I can't even remember. When we got our first storage space, I put a little note on Facebook and said, we're really looking for shelving and whatever. And it didn't take 10 minutes before, Mary said to me, don't worry, I got you covered. And where did you get, like on eBay or?
We went on the yard sales, these local yard sale sites.
And they came with
it was only 3 years ago because we had met first before that happened.
Right. Yeah. But, that's Mary's heart. So, I'm very grateful. And, to say we love our son, I am talking to you from our sunroom right now. Here as often as I can because it's a four season. And so, I've been in here when it's been thunderstorms outside, when it's been snowing outside, not that we had that much, when it's warm outside, and it's just such a delight. and the team was amazing. I was so excited that Mary had the same team the guys were.
I called them the A team.
Yeah.
Oh, the dream team. I posted it on
The
Facebook.
dream-
And I called
They
Josh.
were.
He's the lead carpenter. And I told Josh, and I think he was a little nervous because I said, Josh, are you the one who worked on Mary McCormick? And it was like, ... Yeah. I said, well, Josh, she just got off the phone telling me you are the dream team. You are, you guys
Unbelievable dream team.
Yeah.
And,
I was so thrilled. I was so thrilled because I was telling Mary about, how great it was, the entire process from beginning to end could not have been more wonderful.
Thank you so much.
And we had an idea of what we wanted, but when we came out to the showroom and Mike kind of walked us through everything, made suggestions, it was terrific. And then when they came out here, I mean, it was a big thing to do. It was
yes.
Ours was a big project.
Yours was a big project.
And and it's an all glass, the one solid wall that you're seeing there, that's the wall to our house. But otherwise, it's all glass roof and everything. And because we're on the second level, it's like being in a house. Oh, it's
nice.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. So
that sounds like what I've picked out for my future home. I live in a townhouse right now, and while we do townhouses for sunrooms, we're just not planning on staying here, forever. So I definitely want my sunroom. I want to use my family coworker discount on my forever home. So
there you go.
I told Mike my birthday's in April. Christmas is coming up. I'm always teasing him about getting a free sunroom.
Well, we were going to move, and this was the reason that we were able to stay in our house.
Wow.
Because I needed another room.
Yeah.
So that I wasn't going to be doing the stairs and Mary and the hills.
I know that completely.
Yeah. So
absolutely, I know that. Leadership Frederick, there were Hermine and I with our knees.
Yeah.
And then all the young people.
Younger, right.
I've got a lot of years.
Younger people. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, yeah.
But it's great. It was a wonderful experience, and this is so generous of you. We feed thousands of kids every week, and so this is
really yeah.
Right, and tell me a little bit about Blessings in a Backpack, Hermine, and how it's changed with COVID, because I know that there's a big difference between backpacks for the weekend and being home 24/7. Some children are homeless. Is that correct?
Well, so we usually during the school year we feed about 3,100 children in 22 local schools every Friday. We send them home with food for the weekend, non-perishable, kid-friendly food.
Amazing.
For the weekend. And this is the beginning of our 7th year that we are doing, and it's all volunteers. And it's been a great experience. But when this happened and school buildings were closed and we no longer had access to our kids, that was a major change for us, because the schools, because the identity of the children that we serve has always been confidential, we didn't know who the kids were that we serve. The schools took care of that. We would purchase the food. We had volunteers pack the food. We put it at a certain location in the school for their staff to take care of distribution. Well, so this was completely different. And now what we are doing is we are piggybacking on the FCPS grab and go meal program that is in about 10 schools and about 15 or so locations where school buses are going into neighborhoods, because transportation is a major issue. And so they are providing food, and then 3 days a week for the entire week. And then we come on Fridays. Our volunteers, about 70 volunteers, come on Friday. And we bring the food that we are distributing, and we hand it out. And we feed any child 18 years old or younger. You don't have to show your driver's license, I mean, it's, but we just, that's the FCPS line, 18 or younger. We feed children, who may be homeless, children who may be living in transitional housing, children who would during the school year qualify for the federal free and reduced meal program, and children who are living at in any home that is traditionally at or below the poverty level, the ALICE children, children of asset limited working people. However, all bets were off once this happened. I mean, so we are at about 28 sites, over 70 volunteers every Friday. And whoever comes up, it doesn't have to be the child. It might be a parent who comes up and says, I have 3 kids or whatever. And we give them, 3 bags or 1 bag or 4 bags or whatever it is. Of non-perishable, kid-friendly food. So we're
amazing. And
we just met. You are the first to publicly know. Mary, you too. We have not historically fed the children over the summer because we didn't have access to them.
Right.
But this year is different, and we're going to feed the children through the summer as well. So
wow, that's amazing.
This is a great help. During a regular school year, our food budget is about $330,000 a year. So we buy the food. We do historically, we've gotten food donations also, but during this event, that's another thing that has changed for us. We've not really been doing food donations. Only
right,
money.
you can't have the people coming in and dropping off food, and it's just, you have to keep your staff safe. And
right, and during the summer, we may change that. We may do our Amazon wish list again, just for certain items to be able to collect that. But the monetary support is critical, for us, because who knows what's going to happen in September. I think, assuming everybody goes back to school in some form or another, we think our numbers are going to be much higher.
Yes.
Because there are going to be a lot of families that will still have needs beyond what they had last year. So
right, and a lot of job loss.
Exactly.
Bills piling up even when the economy gets back to where it is and people are able to find jobs again. They still had those bills.
Exactly.
And they still had the children home all day and they're home all day, and they didn't have those subsidized lunches and breakfast. And, there's just so much more stress and anxiety and worries, not only with the pandemic, but what the pandemic is creating.
Well, exactly. It's not just, and I think that you raised a very important point. It's not just COVID itself. There are all of these other issues that have arisen and have made life much more difficult for many families, even if, thankfully, no one got sick.
Right.
Right.
You might have real side effects if you got sick. You might not have side effects physical, but you have side effects of your bank account. You have side effects of your bills and your health, your mental health and well-being.
And that's what Mary, that's what you said. You said, thankfully, you guys don't have to worry about that.
We don't.
Have your jobs and so forth. But for many people, as we all know, that is not the case. And that's, Blessings in a Backpack has one mission and one mission only. We feed kids. Period.
Yep.
Full stop. That's
Real
all.
simple.
And, you know, the Frederick community has just been extraordinary. All we have to do is, you know, I told that little story before, but all we do is we post a little something and everyone steps up. It's just amazing to me.
Ask and ye shall receive. That's all it took, especially from an angel like Mary. You asked and you know you received. She asked us and she received. I think you've got magical powers, Mary.
No, I don't think so. But it's an easy. I'm going to call it this. It for us, and if we're going to give a donation somewhere, if I'm, you know, donating in memory of someone that maybe didn't, you know, name their favorite charity kind of thing, Blessings in a Backpack is a no-brainer. They feed kids. I've met the person running it. I've met her right arm. We're in the community together, and they're supporting other organizations as well with their presence. It's a no-brainer.
Well, people, you know, it's an easy question to ask somebody. Would you like to help us feed hungry children?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you know.
I remember being floored when I first heard about Hermine's mission, because Frederick to me is a very classy, very hip type of place. And to hear that there were children in need just blew my mind. So I think educating the community as well that this problem exists is extremely important.
I had no idea. I read about Blessings in a Backpack over 7 years ago in People magazine, and I thought to myself, oh, let me see if there's a problem in Frederick. You know, like you, I really had, when I found out at that time that there were over 10,000 children at risk of going hungry when school meals are not available. Well, now the number is, when school was open, was over 11,000 children, and I'm sure the numbers are much higher now. So we're planning on, you know, feeding. I would strongly suspect between 3,500 and 4,000 children once school is back in session in whatever way it's back in session.
Oh, I agree. I think now is a great time to drum up those resources and reach out to get that in motion and really build up for when that hits, because it's gonna hit. Just like when everybody gets back, it's, you know, when things get back to normal, so to say.
Yeah, what is normal?
What is normal anyway? What is normal anyway? So
well, we adapt thanks to the Frederick community. We have been able to adapt, you know, and switch gears. And, you know, when plan A didn't work, we moved to plan B, and I think we're like on plan Q right now.
Adapt and overcome.
That's right. You know, every day has been an adventure, but we still get that food out, and the children, you know, the children are smiling. We have some of our volunteers have, you know, done things like they're dancing and singing when they're out there distributing, and, you know, taking pictures and putting signs up, you know, smile, be happy, and sunshiny, you know, so, you know, because everyone is wearing masks, you know.
You can't see the smiles.
So you have to smile with your eyes, you know, and so they're putting signs up, I'm smiling at you, I'm so happy to see you, and so forth. So it's really, there's a lot of love going around, and it fills my heart, and we're so grateful to, you know, to Mike and to Maryland Sunrooms, you know.
Absolutely, we're really lucky.
Yeah.
Really lucky. You know, I'm really lucky. I love my job, and I love Mike and Anita. They are always thinking about their community and how to give back. I think we spoke a little bit of Hermine in the beginning of this recording that we are currently doing contests. So Mary, I saw that you liked our Facebook page. So I've been putting out, we're trying to do it once a month, to put a little post on Facebook that says to our followers, comment your favorite nonprofit, and we'll pull it out of a hat. One gets $100, the rest get a $35 in-kind donation. So far last week, that was Mount Airy Net.
Oh, nice.
won the first $100 donation, and the
Wonderful.
others went out, to Operation Pause, Salvation Army of Mount Airy, and cystic fibrosis in the Northeast. So the fact that they allow me to do that is amazing, because it's not a beautiful sunroom isn't a hard sell for marketing in the first place. So, so the fact that I get to do this with them is just amazing as well.
Especially at this time. I know Mount Airy Net, we're very active on social media, so be sure to tag me when you.
Oh, I will. I mean, how can people get in touch with you to help?
Well, would you like our website? Is that the best way to do it? So our local website is www.biabfrederickmd.org.
Great. And how can they help? Aside from going to the website and learning more about you, what is the best way for them? Is it volunteering? Is it giving monetary donations?
At this point in time, monetary donations are what we need most. And we're also going to be posting an Amazon wish list. So, and those will be, people follow us on Facebook. We're very active. And
what's your Facebook? Facebook.com/?
It's Blessings in a Backpack Frederick.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, very easy. So if people go on there, there will be opportunities on there. We also post opportunities for volunteering. Right now, we're all set with volunteers, but once we get into the summer mode, some of the volunteers that have been doing it are not going to be able to. What has really been extraordinary is how many people have stepped up who don't usually volunteer with us because they're working and they're not able to do it during the school year. And, I was getting all kinds of emails through our website that said, oh, I'm free now. How can I help? What can I do? And it's really nice because a lot of our volunteers, like me, are older, retired people. And so those are the people that have been doing it during the school year, but we're also the ones that are pulling back and not being out in the community as much. And a lot of younger people have stepped up to fill that void. They're not working. People are coming with their kids with their little masks on and so and packing bags at home, Mary. People have been packing our little ESP bags, which are the extras that we give along with the food. They come, they pick up the food, then they take them home, and then they have the kids around the table wearing gloves that we provide and masks, and they're packing these little bags. I mean, it's so great. And I think
I'm sure that makes them feel good.
Exactly.
That they're doing something, keeps them busy with a good mission.
Yes, we have parents that are saying, just please tell me, how can my kids help?
Please.
Well, and you're training the next generation of volunteers by doing that.
What a good point. Yes.
There's some wins coming out of this terrible time we're going through. So there's some positives.
Yeah.
I think we're finding what we can really do as a society to help each other. Right. There's finally something that's affecting everyone. So there's so many more people that want to get involved because it's touching them personally.
That's right.
And they're having new appreciation.
Someone they know. When I first started and found out the numbers, it was like, well, nobody on my street. But you realize that now it is. Exactly. Right. Exactly. So, we're thrilled with this opportunity to spread the word also.
Good. Well, thank you. Well, what an amazing circumstance of events to have Mary and have Hermine use the referral program for a much greater good. I'm so glad that she decided to call us and offer us this opportunity to help out, right? And just, how much it's filled my heart with, just love and appreciation for the support that you do for the community and the children. It means a lot to all of us.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much all around. Thank you, Mary.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Of course. Are you kidding? It's Hermine. she asks, we come.
Exactly. So good. Well, thank you, ladies, for being on the call with me today and giving us some wonderful information about Blessings in a Backpack. I'm also going to put up in this video, when you said it, it'll come across and it'll be at the end, and also in my post of where they can find you on Facebook and where they can find you on your
That's
website
You
and how they can help out.
Yeah, feel free to, lift our logo off of the website, or I can send you a JPEG if you need that also.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Good,
ladies.
good,
Have a
good.
great rest of your day.
This
Enjoy your
was wonderful,
sunrooms.
and thanks again to Mike. Yeah.
Right. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks. Bye.